Capricorn. Hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early to mid-March 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Capricorn collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Cappies in early to mid-March? It's a lovely time of year, my friends. Let's see what energies, messages, insights we could take a little peek at. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Capricorn. Early to mid-March, what's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick. There we go. Ask and you shall receive. All right, so we have the Queen of Swords type energy showing up here, and there's a lot of good positives, especially if this is an energy you're leaning into. Now, of course, there's certain things we need to watch out for with the Queen of Swords, but to me, I love the honesty attached to it. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the March subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk about it. So again, this is an oracle deck. It's not a tarot. But when I look at this lovely divine feminine figure with her with her crown, it kind of looks like thorns to me. She just gives me Queen of Swords vibes. Now, for some of you, this could be an air sign you're connected to. Remember, court cards, they're not gender specific. But the good things I think about with the Queen of Swords: logical, smart, intelligent, very good at strategy and planning. This is a straightforward, no BS, no nonsense type of energy. So for some Capricorns, this might be a vibe that you're stepping into in this time, where it's like, I'm about my business, or I have a goal to achieve, and this is what it's going to be. It's not so emotional. Like the Queen of Cups could be a little more emotional, and that's where we get into the rougher aspects. Just something to watch out for. And again, this could be someone else. It doesn't have to be you. The Queen of Swords can sometimes be a little cold, a little detached. She could be very sharp with her words. There's like a sharp tongue involved with her. So, I mean, it's a balance, just like with all things in life. But yeah, hopefully you're not dealing with someone that's like a little cold, a little aggressive. For some of you, again, it could just be about clarity, honesty, truth, very straightforward, which I do like. And it's really, really great for strategic planning. So we're going to put that beautiful Queen of Swords down right there. Yeah, she's not playing any games. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Capricorn, early to mid-March. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So it was titled A Karmic Situation. Now, topics and things like karma or karmic cycles, karmic things, they're very in-depth. There's a lot of moving parts because we could be speaking about our personal karma, the stuff we put out into the world and the stuff that comes back. We could see other people's karma. We could be talking about lessons. We could be talking about a life's mission. So usually that's a pretty hefty type of vibe. But it was showing up. But we'll see if it bleeds over into this week. But as you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else. But yeah, that karmic energy could get a little sticky, especially if you're in the midst of a big transformation. But let's see what we have this week, early to mid-March. Let's get these cards out. What do we got for Capricorn? Thank you. Cool. Nice. Good start. We got the Knight of Cups himself. So I like him. He's really, really smooth type of energy. This could be a water sign that you're connected to, of course. But we're going to get him tucked in right there. Let's get a couple more. So funny that we started with the Queen of Swords. Now we have the Knight of Cups. Got the Ace of Cups here. This could be a very agreeable energy that works with Capricorn energy. Let's get one more here. One more for my good friends. Page of Swords. Lots of people this week for you. So the Watcher of the Tarot deck. Very, very analytical for some reason. So yeah, we're going to have to breeze through this and break it down, my friends. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I always like to look at the elements. That informs us about certain areas in life that could be highlighted or how the energy is moving. And we have a mixture of water and air. Now, the thing that these two share in common, these are the internal energies, whereas like fire and earth, that's more external, outside yourself. This is emotions, and that is the mind. So it's like we have the heart and mind showing up here. Now, when it comes to water, that's a very agreeable energy for Capricorn because earth and water mix together very well. Water is your emotional self. So your internal self, your emotions, your feelings, things or people that we're emotionally invested in or things that we care about. Remember what we were saying about the Queen of Swords? This is the opposite kind of because it's much softer, it's much more tender, there's a soft edge to it. So you might be a little more sentimental when there's a lot of water. So it could be a mix though, because remember, we had the Queen of Swords, we have the Page of Swords. So it's like we have this heart, mind, heart, mind, heart, mind. Uh, Relationships, connections, especially with the court card. So we have some themes showing up here, a lot of chatter too. And then when it comes to the air, we already spoke about it with the Queen. This is the pragmatic mind, the logical mind, strategic, very intelligent. There's a thirst for knowledge when we have swords. And it could just be about your thought process and what you're feeding your mind. But swords, aside from communication, they're cold, a little detached sometimes, a little flighty. So that's the downside to all this energy is that it's always shifting, always moving, always changing. Let's go through and start building it out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with the Knight of Cups. Now, you're going to see the themes that show up in all of these, and especially the fact that we have so many people showing up. Your energy, of course, it's always at the center of your reading, but it's like we have all this other energy affecting yours. But the Knight of Cups, as with all knights, could represent movement, action, communication. I always say it's all about action and messages. Now, this could be a water sign you're connected to, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And out of all the knights, I like the pace of the Knight of Cups. It's smooth. It's not too fast. It's not too slow. It's moving at a nice, decent pace. As far as personality traits, this could be someone that is like very smooth, silky smooth, Prince Charming type of energy here, or it's someone that could talk the bark off a tree. So we like the Knight of Cups. He is often tied into romantic situations. Again, I'm not saying all of you are watching for that. If it's just action, if it's communication, this seems to be very smooth and non-confrontational, at least in the beginning. Now, what might be the downside to such a positive card, such a loving card, such an emotional energy? The Knight of Cups can represent, in its rougher form, emotional, unavailable type of energy. The Knight of Cups can also represent somebody that likes to play with emotions a little bit, like make you feel bad for them. So watch out for guilt trips and stuff like that. So we're going to circle back on him. Again, he's a positive. I'm not going to turn him into a negative. He simply could just be a conversation of some kind. But we're going to get him right there by the amethyst. Now, moving to the center, we have the Ace of Cups. Beautiful. This fits a lot of the themes that I've been saying about the cups. And as with all aces, to me, they represent offers, opportunities, and talks. So you say messenger, then we have this conversation potentially showing up. All aces have so much beautiful energetic potential. Now, in my simplistic style, when I see the Ace of Cups, it could represent someone's emotional state, how they're feeling, potentially what they're thinking. So we do want to dig into this deeper. It's fresh, it's new, it's vibrant. Now, what's the downside to, again, another usually very positive card? When the Ace of Cups flips upside down, this could be someone that is like emotionally up and down. So it's like little waves, more so than normal. The Ace of Cups is also flighty, right? Like this is an energy where there's so much potential, but it's not a guarantee. So for some of you, there might be certain situations you're dealing with where it's like, all right, it looks good, that has potential, but it's not locked in just yet. Now, moving to the back end, we have probably the more intriguing card I've seen in the spread so far. We have the Page of Swords. And similar to the knights, pages are also communicators and messengers. So with all these cards, there's this underlying communication talk or message happening. Pages are students and messengers. So when I see the Page of Swords, I'm analyzing, I'm taking in a lot of information, I'm watching something. That's why people call him the watcher of the tarot deck. A little more defensive. So when I see the Page of Swords, you might be a little skeptical about someone or something. You might be a little unsure when the Page of Swords is here. Or there could be a situation or something that Spirit wants you to keep a very close eye on. And this is also a card that shows up when we're under the microscope. So whether you're watching someone else's moves, maybe someone's watching yours, we're just going to have to see how it all plays out. But a lot of other people's energy here. I want to dive deeper on all the Capricorn. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for the Cappies, please? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message. which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Knight of Cups. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Capricorn, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Knight of Cups. What's happening here? Why is the Knight of Cups here? Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, so this energy just seems to emerge out of the fog. I don't know why I'm putting it like that. So we have the Hermit in reverse. This is Virgo energy. And usually when I see the Hermit, it's retracted, it's pulled back. It's an energy that's like bringing itself back to its own place, its own peace, its own center, which is not a bad thing. But in reverse, underneath the Knight of Cups, it's like, I have emerged. So for some Capricorns, if that's the energy you're in, if you feel like you've been going through a hibernation of some kind, this energy just seems to come forth and emerge. The thing I really like about the Hermit in reverse under the Knight of Cups is, as far as communication goes, it goes from really quiet to business as usual, which I feel like is nice. Now, the downside to this card, and remember, we got him in reverse. This card could sometimes represent someone that's like very private. There's a lot of mystery, hidden, like secrecy type of stuff going on here. So that's something I want to pay attention to as we move along. Like, all right, is this a secrecy thing? Is this someone? I mean, for all intents and purposes, like this combination could absolutely be like a surprising message or a surprising unexpected talk of some kind. I've been seeing that in a few different signs this week where it's like, all right, I'm either talking about things I wasn't expecting to talk about or to people I wasn't expecting to talk to. So to me, if it's not this secrecy coming forth, it's either emerging out of hibernation or it's this energy that, just comes in out of the blue, which I don't think is a bad thing. I like the pace that it's moving. So we're just going to put them down right there. Let's keep moving forward because we still have a lot to go. So let's go in on the Ace of Cups. So a lot of stuff there, several different messages. Only take what's yours, but I like it. I mean, if you've been in some sort of isolation or hibernation, that's a good energy because it's actually coming forth now. There's action. So why is, all right, cool. A little too soon. All right. Now, I'm not saying this is you, but when I see the Nine of Cups in reverse underneath this Ace of Cups, I don't want to say it's a false start, but it's someone that jumps the gun on something where it's like, they should have waited a little bit longer. Or like, I think in this time, it's very important to not pressure things or push things too hard. There's something here about getting into the flow state because the Nine of Cups is usually wish fulfillment. It's open, it's welcoming, arms wide open, it's happy. But when I see it in reverse under the Ace of Cups, it's like, damn, I should have took a different opportunity, or I should have did this another time. It's somewhat like regret, but I don't want to make it seem like it's a bad thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but to me, it's like I rushed this or I did this too quick. So in this time, watch out for that. I don't want to say it's a mistake just yet, but there is a potential to miscalculate something where, and again, this could be somebody else where it's like, damn, I shouldn't have did that so soon, or I should have waited a little longer, or why did I do that? It's given me that kind of energy intuitively. So either someone might feel like they miscalculated, made a mistake. I'm not saying it's you, but we're going to keep moving. There's something here about the timing where it's like, I should have waited a little longer, or I should have picked a better time. There's just something here about the timing, very peculiar. We're going to keep going. I feel like that's very simple, straightforward. I mean, this could also be an energy that like really lets loose too. Like the Nine of Cups could be like very indulgent, and when I see it under the Ace of Cups, sometimes where like you're feeling bad and you eat a bunch of food, or you like drown your sorrows. Like I'm getting that too. So we're just going to leave it at that. Let's keep moving. No judgment here. But yeah, that's odd. I wasn't expecting that because we have so much potential in the energy. Let's go in on the page. See what the page has, because the page definitely seems much more cautious. So we'll see what's up with him, then we'll do a recap before we get into the shadow. So why is the Page of Swords here for Capricorn? Okay, the deck is being very specific. Why is that Page of Swords here? Thank you. Yeah. So we have the Five of Pentacles and the upright. So it's like back to isolation. So it's like I popped my head out up here in the front. I came forth. Oops, waited to, or I should have did it at a different time, and then we go back. So it's like this energy that seems to retreat or pull back again. That's how it feels. Now, another thing I have to say, like when I see the Page of Swords with the Five of Pentacles in the upright, there is a longing here. There is a potential missing. So again, you might be a little more sentimental than you normally are. Doesn't mean that everything's a mess. I'm not saying anything like that, but there's a certain sentimental type of energy I'm picking up. The Five of Pentacles in the upright, watch out for anything regarding work, coworkers, money, financial things, because this could also represent like issues in that realm. But to me, it's like I came forward and I'm taking a step back. So we have this odd energy about timing that's going on. So as mentioned earlier in the reading, it's very important to just get into the flow state and just let something flow as naturally as possible. Whatever will be, because this energy miscalculates and then pulls itself back. So I would say, yeah, watch out for mishaps, mistakes, stuff like that. But there is also this watching. Okay, aside from the longing, like when I see the Page of Swords with the Five of Pentacles, it's like I'm watching. So just know you might be a little bit under the microscope more than you normally are, or you have a situation or something under your lens. But let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadows. So, peculiar energy this week. I am picking up mostly other people's energy too, so that could be something to watch out for, because I don't necessarily feel a lot of Capricorn energy here. But if you kindly look in the box, position number one, we have the Knight of Cups with the Hermit in reverse. To me, this is an energy that emerges, like something like coming out of hibernation, where it comes forth. Like there's a lot of quiet, then the energy seems to come forward. So again, whether it's a talk, conversation, message, the energy does come in. Yeah, I don't dislike it, but the energy when we get into the center with the Ace of Cups and the Nine of Cups in reverse, it's like, damn, something was off with the timing, or I did that too quick. So watch out for mishaps and mistakes, or somebody might be feeling that, like they did something and the timing was off. And then I get it withdrawing again. We have the Page of Swords with the Five of Pentacles in the upright. So it's like come forward, oops, pull back. So we have this odd little back and forth in the energy. And there could be some watching going on with this energy on the back end. There could be a little longing, and watch out for issues with like work, coworkers, or career in general. But please, yeah, we got some situations here. But yeah, please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. What do we got for Capricorn, please? Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going. What do we got for Cappy, please? What do we got? Thank you. Yeah, Ten of Swords. This is a very common shadow card to show up. So we've all been through these moments, right? The Ten of Swords. And I always try to tell people, don't get too weirded out by the energies of cards, because energy is energy. It's always flowing and moving. And at some point in life, we have had a Ten of Swords moment, whether it's an ending, whether it's a loss, whether it's just some sort of pain. And with like this energy that comes forward, then pulls back, I think it is important to not rush yourself with something, especially with this in the shadows, or whoever this is that's showing up here. It's very important to not rush them or rush the process, because that could bring about this Ten of Swords type of vibe. Now, this could just be energy where it kind of comes back up to the surface. So this could be something you've gone through a long time ago. And when I see the Ten of Swords in the shadows, it's like not fully healed yet, or that the energy's still lingering. So watch out for things to reemerge, kind of like what we saw within the reading itself, whether it's feelings, situations, or even people. It's like we reemerge and then we go back beneath the surface. So we're going to put the Ten of Swords right there, my good friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the March subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight into your situation and you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The March calendar is live and spots go quick, so you could go check that out. But for the March subscriber surprise, we're doing another winner's choice. I will choose 3 subscribers to win either a copy of the Everyday Witches Tarot, beautiful deck, or handmade crystal pendant, which I showcase at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments What zodiac signs do you get along best with? Which ones are your favorite? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.